Hey there guys, what's up? It's me, KimberlyJ, coming to you today. This is going to be the Q&A video. I'm going to try something a little bit different. What I'm going to do is, instead of trying to do it in parts and upload it from my phone, I'm going to try to record it on here, on my phone, then put it on my desktop computer, upload it from there, so I can just do it in one video, and not have to be separated into 15-minute segments. Also, please keep in mind, I do really feel pretty bad today. I'm hurting a lot and going through a lot of pain. I was out running errands for about an hour and a half. I was out in the heat, which made me feel worse. So if I'm not my usual perky self, that's why. If I'm not, if I kind of like sigh a lot, that's why, because I'm just really, really tired. I'm in a lot of pain today. So be patient with me about that. Also, there's one question that was part of the Q&A I'm going to be answering at the end of the video, and I'll explain why when I get to that point. So I'm going to just go ahead and start here. I didn't bother separating the Twitter questions from the YouTube questions. I just put them all together. So the first question comes from @OnlyNotNormal from Twitter. She said, what case do you have on your phone? Well, I'm using my phone to record right now, but the case I had on it was this one here. It's the adorable little ducky, and I love the cute little feet on it. And love the big orange beak. And this was a gift from Amy Shoemaker. She's known as Art Girl 2003 here on YouTube. She gave me this beautiful, this adorable little case. From Jessica P. Do you like reading? If you do, what's your favorite book? Okay, that one's the one I'm going to skip to the end to answer, because the books I want to show you guys that are my favorites, I'm actually using them to keep my phone propped up right now. So I can't show you them right now, but I will at the end of the video if I remember to. Jessica P. also asked, what does the 99534 in your Instagram name stand for? Okay, and this might be really, really confusing. I hope it won't be, but I'm going to try to make it as simple as I can. Now, my Instagram name is number 9, number 9, number 5, number 3, number 4, and then M-E, me. So, let's start with the 9953. Start with that, okay? I printed this off the internet. It's like, it shows like a phone keypad thing. Now, if you look at this thing, remember, the numbers are 9953. So we'll do that. Number 9, look at the first letter. It's a W. So since I have 99, there'd be 2 W's. So just think about this for a minute, okay? So 99 be WW. So actually, I take the first letter of the numbers I have down. So 99, then there's a 5, the first letter is a J, and then 3, the first letter is D. So basically, it's a number code that for me means WWJD. That is a famous acronym. It stands for What Would Jesus Do? And you might be thinking, wait a minute, Kim, that means your thing with me, what would Jesus do for me? And that's not what I meant it to mean at all. It came out that way, but it's not how I meant it. Basically, WWJD means what would Jesus do? And I want that to be the rules I apply to my life, for me personally. So, what would Jesus do means how would Jesus react in a situation? You want to live your life in the way that Jesus would react if he were here. What would he say to this person? How would he react in this situation? And you want to live your life like you believe Jesus would live it if he were in your place. So that's what WWJD means. What would Jesus do? And it's a way of living your life to where you feel like you would say and do and live in a way you believe Jesus would live if he were in your place. So 9953 is my little code for WWJD, what would Jesus do? And I want that to be applied to my life for me, personally. I want to live my life that way. So, that's what 99534 me means. It means, what would Jesus do? Whatever that answer to that question is, I want that to be true for me. So, there you go. Hope that makes it as simple as I can explain it. Shout out to Kinsey Girl 333. Would you rather give up salty or sweet foods? I would have to say salty. Because I love sweets. I love cakes and pies and brownies and cookies and candy bars and chocolates, and I can't imagine never having that stuff again. The only salty thing I think I would miss would be French fries, because I love French fries. So, but there you go, Kinsey Girl. And another question from Kinsey Girl 333: do you like the red or blue icy better? Well, I've only had the red icy. It's my favorite one, so I would say red. Shout out to Andrea Lynn. What's your favorite TV show? This is another thing, those questions about favorites. Favorite TV show, favorite movie, favorite singer, favorite band, favorite group. My favorites will change from time to time. I can't have one thing and say, this is my ultimate favorite and this will never change in my life. Because my favorites will change throughout the years. So, the one show that I can think of that makes me laugh the hardest, most of my favorite shows are no longer on the air. Most of them are not on the air. But I have two I can't really choose between, and that's how I am. I can't choose one favorite. I have two that are my favorites, and make a quick notation here. Sorry, guys. Two shows are my favorite. Neither one are on the air now. One that made me laugh the hardest of any show I've ever seen. This show made me laugh the hardest. I was like rolling on the floor, laughing so hard I couldn't breathe. At the end of most of the episodes was a show called 8 Simple Rules, and it starred John Ritter and Katie Seagal and Kaylee Cuoco, and I forgot the names of the other two actors. I'm so sorry. I can't remember the character's name for Carrie and Rory, but I can't remember their real names. I'm so sorry. But John Ritter, of course, as most people know, died a number of years ago. They tried to keep the show going. They had some really good episodes. Even after his passing, they did an amazing job of keeping that show going and keeping the actors going. And I loved the episodes after his passing and still enjoyed them, even though he was no longer on the show. But yeah, 8 Simple Rules is definitely one of my favorite ones of all time. The other one that I love, it's just not on the air, of course, anymore. It's on reruns, I think, but that's about it. Is MASH. MASH was a show from the 70s, I think? Yeah, mid to late 70s. And it starred Alan Alda and, let me think. I'm trying to think of their real names. I'm so sorry. Give me a minute. I can say the character names, but I can't think of the actors' names. That's all. Loretta Swift, and okay, there's more of them. I'm so sorry. I'm really batting zero here. But yeah, so there's a bunch of MASH. MASH is my favorite show, and 8 Simple Rules is my favorite show. I've been looking for the DVD for 8 Simple Rules and have never seen one. I hope they put one out at some point in time. Shout out to Sophia Sorensen. Would you travel all around the world? Would you swim with a bunch of fish? LOL, love you so much. Oh, thank you, Sophia. I love you too. Here's the thing with me about that, traveling all around the world. I am really afraid of heights. If I even stand up on top of a chair, I start getting woozy and sick. Like sick to my stomach, like woozy, kind of lightheaded thing. So, if I can't even stand up on a chair without getting dizzy, I can't imagine going 35,000 feet in the air on an airplane. I've ridden an airplane before, but it was each time was terrifying for me. I did it. I made it through because I had someone on the plane with me. I could, kind of clamp their hands so tight and kind of thing. But so I would love to travel the world, yes, but I wouldn't be able to use a plane. I would not be able to use a boat because I get motion sickness really badly. So I would love to travel around the world, but it has to be in a train, a bus, or a car. Because I am too afraid to fly, and I get sick right on the boat. So it has to be by train, by bus, or by car. So it kind of limits how far you can go in some ways. So, but yes, if I could do that with those kinds of transportation modes, yes, I would. Would you swim with a bunch of fish? LOL. Actually, but as long as the fish weren't biting me, yeah, I'd love to. Actually, back when I was 17 years old, I went to Hawaii with my parents because my oldest brother at the time was living and working there in Hawaii. He invited us down to Hawaii. We went there for, I think, 2 weeks it was. And we went to this place, I think it was Hanauma Bay, but I may be mistaken on that. Don't quote me on that. but you could actually go snorkeling in Hanama Bay. And so I had goggles on, a little breathing tube thing, and because I have a hard time breathing because of my asthma, I didn't want to be totally submerged underwater, but I would go down from, I was about waist high in the water, and then just kneel down and stick my head in the water, and the fish were swimming all around me, and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I loved it. I didn't swim with them, because the question is, would you swim with fish? Yes, I would. But seeing them, tropical fish and fish I've never seen anywhere else, and it was the most beautiful thing I'd seen up to that point. So, yeah, I definitely would swim with fish as long as they weren't biting fish. We have a shout out for Nadia. I'm sorry if I mispronounced her last name. Nadia Becerra. It's Becera. Do you have a favorite Care Bear? Yes, I do. It's Cheer Bear, because I'm not familiar enough with all the Care Bears to know them all, know their personalities and all that stuff. I don't know them that well. But people have always called me a cheerleader. It's CheerLeader, cheerleader. Not because I was ever a cheerleader in high school. I wasn't pretty enough for that. Wasn't athletic enough and not flexible enough to do that. But because I seem to have a knack for cheering people up. Making people smile when they're having a bad day, or telling them a joke and making them laugh, or just patting their back or patting their shoulder and telling them how much I love them. And I seem to have a knack for being able to cheer people up. I've been called a cheerleader in several different environments because I have a gift for cheering people up and for motivating them to do better. And so this is Cheer Bear. I got this out of what I call a blind bag. I just got it today, so check my mini Dollar Tree haul. You'll see it. Dollar Tree mini haul. You'll see it. But this is my favorite Care Bear. This is Cheer Bear. It's my favorite. Shout out to Jasmine Laidlaw. Did you ever get bullied because of your looks? If so, how did you deal with it? I never got bullied because of my looks. I got bullied because I was short. So I got the whole, half pint, midget, dwarf, gnome, that whole thing. I had people use my head as an elbow rest. I had people say I'd make a good drink tray. Just that kind of thing. But to me, there's a difference between being picked on or teased and being bullied. To me, the word bullied implies either a verbal abuse or some type of physical, harm. And I never had that. I got picked on and teased and called, names and made fun of, but I never got seriously bullied. To me, bullied implies a verbal abuse or physical abuse, and I never had that. I just got teased and picked on about it. But never because of my looks. Shout out to Liza, XOXO. If you could have dinner with any person, dead or alive, who would you choose? Would you ever want any she also asked me, would you ever want any tattoos? Love you, girl. Stay positive and gorgeous. Have a good day. Aw, Liza, you're so sweet. I don't see myself as gorgeous, but thank you for thinking that I am. And I will do my best to stay positive. If I could have dinner with any person, dead or alive, who would I choose? Try and wrap my nose in months. That's another thing that probably, if you ask me in 20 years, I have a totally different answer than what I have now. My people I choose and this kind of thing will change from time to time. But I was trying to think of what answer I could give you for what person I would choose to have dinner with if I could pick any person, dead or alive. There's one person, I've chosen two people. One of them has already passed away, one of them is still alive. The person who has passed away that I would choose to have dinner with is a woman named Corrie, Corrie, Corrie ten Boom. She has a book called The Hiding Place, which I'll talk more about later. But reading her story of what she went through with the Nazis and all that in the concentration camp, what she and her family endured, I just think the world of her. And she died, of course, many years ago. But if I could, I would have dinner with her, just to listen to her, talk about her experiences and talk about her love of the Lord and how God kept her strong and just all that. Corrie ten Boom, Corrie, and then her last name is Tenboom. Corey Ten Boom. The person who's still alive I picked to have dinner with be, without a doubt, would be Haley Mills. And her first name is Hayley. Last name is Mills. Haley Mills. She was a famous Disney star from the Pollyanna, Parent Trap, Moon Spinner, Summer Magic, The Trouble with Angels, That Darn Cat. Her movies kind of shaped me as a kid, and I love watching her. And she's the kind of one person I would most want to meet. She be it. I just am enamored by Haley Mills, and I would love to have dinner with her. Would I want any tattoos? I've considered getting tattoos before. But the thing is, to be quite honest, I'm too afraid of the pain, guys. I'm too afraid of the pain. That's why I settle for stuff like this. I guess this at the store a few days ago. These are temporary tattoos. And this is the only tattoo I can get. Because I'm too much of a wussy to get a real tattoo. I thought about getting one, though. But I don't know what kind I would get or what I would say. But I think I'm too much of a wimp. I just can't stand a lot of pain. I'm very, much a wuss in that way. Thank you for the questions, Liza. To Katie Top 24, do you have any collections? Yes, I do. I made videos on this channel, but my name back then was Cheyenne13. It wasn't KimberlyJ, it was Cheyenne13. And you can probably search that on my channel and find Cheyenne13 videos I did way back when. But yeah, I've done several collection videos. I collect, I'm trying to remember them all. I collect Hot Wheel cars. I collect, let's see, Hot Wheel cars, keychains, and polished rocks are the main things I collect. So Hot Wheel cars, keychains, and polished rocks are the main things I collect. This is a good question, Katie, by the way. Michaela Hamill. This question just blew me away. Okay, Michaela, you're just too good to be true. Michaela Hamill asked, how can I be as beautiful and as positive and as kind as you? Smiley face. Wow. Oh, number one, I don't see myself as beautiful. I look at people who are movie stars and TV stars and just think, I look nothing like them. I look nothing like them. I'm nowhere near as good as that. I consider myself decent looking. But I don't see myself as pretty or beautiful or amazing. I'm just decent looking. So I'm not sure how you can I don't see myself as beautiful, so I can't really tell you how you can be beautiful. The most beautiful thing to me is a person who believes in himself. A person who believes in himself and can see themselves as, at least somewhat attractive, They have enough women in this age and day who tear themselves down. I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm fat, I've got zits, and I've got this, and I've got that, and I'm so dumb, and I'm so stupid. The world is going to beat you down enough. Don't join in with it. To be positive, you've got to, and get sorry for my nose is itching like crazy for some reason. I'm not sure why, guys. To be positive, you've got to believe in yourself. For a long time, I didn't. I had no self-confidence. I had no self-esteem. I thought I was repulsive and awful. And I finally realized, the world is going to beat me down enough anyway, and the devil is going to beat me down enough anyway. Why join him? So if you want to be a positive person, learn to see yourself as, and I hate to say it because I'm making a hypocrite of myself, but see yourself as beautiful in some way. Like, I don't see myself as physically beautiful, but I think I have a beautiful heart or beautiful soul. I think that I try to be there for people and help people out, and try to have a beautiful personality. And if you can learn to believe those things about yourself and accept those things about yourself, that will be huge. So, how can I be as kind as you? Put others first. Put other people first. There are times when I'm laying in bed and I'm hurting so bad, and I've got the heating pad on my legs, and my legs are just throbbing, and someone will come on kick and say hi. And yeah, I could just ignore them, just pretend I'm not there, shut my phone off. but I'll get the heating pad off me, get the blanket off me, I'll sit up and I'll grab the phone and I'll start chatting with him. You know, I try to always be there for people, even when I'm going through a lot of pain or going through something personal. So my thing, how to be as beautiful as me, that I don't know, I don't see myself as beautiful. I think I have a beautiful personality, a beautiful soul, but not beautiful face-wise, or beauty-wise. Positive, don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't let little things aggravate you. You know? My opinion is, unless someone's dead and dying or gonna be dying soon, I'm not gonna stress over it. I'm just not. You know? No matter what it is. If I lose my wallet, if I lose my keys, if I lose my whole purse, if I miss something important, I'm not gonna stress over it. Life is too good. I'm too blessed to be stressed. And that's not my line. I'm sure somebody else came up with that before me. I'm too blessed to be stressed. So, realize how good you have things. Realize how good you have it. If you have shoes on your feet and clothes on your back and a roof over your head, you're blessed. So, that's my advice. Hope that helped you in some way, Michaela. Thank you for asking me the question. I appreciate it. To Annie McPringalova, what are your top 3 favorite songs? Love You to the Moon and Back. Aw! I love You to the Moon and Back too, Annie. Okay, top 3 favorite songs, and again, these will change over time. You ask me each one of yours, I'll probably have a different answer for you. But for now, these are the top 3 I can think of that I love. One of them is called By Your Side. It's by a group called 10th Avenue North. They're a Christian group. And that song just... I feel like God is singing that song to me. I feel like God is taking those words and He's singing that song to my heart. And it basically everything in that song is what God says in His Word. And I need that reminder now and then. So I urge you, all of you watching this, to listen to that song. It's called By Your Side. It's by the group 10th, T-E-N-T-H, Avenue, A-V-E-N-U-E, North, N-O-R-T-H, 10th Avenue North. The second song, which I can just jam out to, I can't listen to it quietly, it's gotta be loud, is Take a Chance on Me by the group called ABBA. I freaking love that song. It's the ringtone on my phone. Every time my phone rings, I don't want to answer it because I'm too busy jamming out to the song. Take a Chance on Me by ABBA just rocks. The third one is a song called The Sign. The, T-H-E, and then Sign, S-I-G-N. The Sign. And that was by a group called Ace of Base, which is like a second generation of ABBA. And you play me any of Ace of Base's songs that I know, I'm going to be jamming out to them. Whether it's The Sign, or one of my favorite ones is, what is that one? Hang on, let me think. Never Gonna Say I'm Sorry. Love that song. Let's see what else they have. All That She Wants. Any Ace of Base song, I'm gonna love it. So, those are my top 3 favorites at the moment. By Your Side by 10th Avenue North. Take a Chance on Me by ABBA. And The Sign by Ace of Base. Next question from Anaya the Simmer. Shout out to you, Anaya. She asked me, do you like kids? Why or why not? I do like kids. But here's the thing. This is going to sound so petty and so sad, but I'm going to say it anyway because I'm being real with you guys. I like kids, but to me they represent a huge responsibility. If you're babysitting a kid and he goes and busts his head open and he's bleeding all over the floor, who's going to be held responsible for that kid? You are. Who was in charge of the kid when the parents left? You are. So, to me, kids represent a huge responsibility. And I get very nervous around kids. I don't know how to react around them. There are some friends of mine who has, she has 2, her and her husband have 2 kids. And when they see me look around, it's making me a hug. Hi, Kim, how you doing? How you doing? And they'll give me a big hug and ask me how I am. And it's like, I don't know how they can be that way. Because I don't think they would see the fear in my eyes, but they don't. The kids they just love me. But to me, I've only babysat one time in my entire life. One time. Because I was so afraid of being responsible for another human being. I can't even keep myself out of trouble. How am I going to keep a kid out of trouble? You know what I mean? So, that's my thing with kids. I like kids. I like them very much. But I have a hard time relating to them. And I have a hard time in being responsible for them. Because it's a huge responsibility. You're taking charge of another human life. And it's your job to make sure that life stays safe, happy, and healthy to the best of your ability. And I can't even promise that for myself. That's the thing with me and kids. So, I've only babysat one time. And I told the parent, she's a good friend of mine, and I was like, you realize I never babysat before, right? She says, yeah, but I trust you with my kids. And they know you, so it'll be fine. I'm like, okay. So I babysat kids one time, and that's it. I like kids, but I have a hard time being the only one responsible for them. Good question, Anaya, by the way. Melissa, I can't talk today. Blah, blah, blah. Melissa Duff asked me 2 questions. Actually, 3. She asked me, do you work? If so, what do you do? I do not work. I worked for a long time, but because of my medical conditions, I was always slow at things. I had a hard time with keeping up with what was expected of me. I would have a job that I'd be expected to go, this fast, and then I go this fast. And I lost job after job after job because I wasn't fast enough. I couldn't catch on fast enough. I'm a very slow learner. It takes me a long time to catch on to things. And so I lost job after job after job. So I went and made an appointment with a person who's like a lawyer for disability, and told them about my experience, what I've been through, and they said, we think you could definitely be eligible for disability pay. And I was like, that'd be the best miracle ever, because I have a hard time working. And it took me, 7 years? I had to fight for disability for 7 years. Go to appointment after appointment, see judge after judge, and letter after letter, form after form. I got so discouraged, and I just wanted to trash the whole thing. But my husband at the time kept telling me, no, this is going to be worth it when it finally pays off. It'll be worth it. So I finally got approved for disability in 2010. I've had it since. I have disability pay. I don't work. Melissa Duff, this is my favorite question. I'll tell you why in a little bit. She said, if you could wish for anything at all, what would it be? That question is really hard for me to answer, because I should say something noble like to cure everybody that I love, or to make sure no one I love dies, or to have superpowers, or to have a free vacation with my family. I should pick something more noble than the answer I'm going to give you. But to be completely and totally honest, the one thing I would wish for to just have would be a car. Because I would like to be able to go out and do things on my own without having to call my dad or his girlfriend or my aunt or a friend for a ride somewhere. I would just rather have my own transportation. But the thing is, I can't afford car insurance. After paying rent, buying my food, my medications, and paying my bills, I can barely afford to buy anything. So I wouldn't be able to afford car insurance, and I wouldn't be able to afford car repairs. So it has to be a very unique situation, someone being willing to pay for my car insurance, pay for all my car repairs, all the maintenance on it. All I would just put gas in it, because that I could afford. That's why it never happened for me, because I can't afford all the stuff that comes with the car. So yeah, I would wish for a car. That's not a very noble answer, but it's what I want. Another question from Twitter, @forever_alone_ox. Do you wet your toothbrush before you put toothpaste on, or after? Both. Both. I like questions I need to read. You can answer. Both. I turn the faucet on pretty high, so to fix room water coming out, and I'll run my toothbrush underneath it. Run underneath it, get it really wet, and then shut the water off. Give it a few taps. Put the toothpaste on. Then get the water coming out, just a barely trickle, and put a few more drops on my toothbrush, and then brush my teeth. That's how I do that. I wet my toothbrush before and after. We have a question from @EmilyTufts3. What's your favorite color? P.S. You are awesome. Aw, Emily, you're more awesome. What's your favorite color? My favorite color would have to be... I have a lot of favorite colors, you guys. I have a lot of favorite colors. Anything neon, fluorescent, bright, vivid, in your face. Yes, I'm going to like it. I have two favorite colors, but I'll show you them. I'll show you one of them right now. If I can grab it. This kind of pink. This bright, vivid pink. This I bought at Claire's Boutique for my birthday. So I can have a birthday wand and go bing! Yeah, so this color pink, bright neon pink. And then also, I'll show you on this thing here if I can get it out without dropping everything. This kind of green. So like a bright, vivid pink and a bright, vivid neon green. Pink and green, my two favorite colors. But it has to be bright, fluorescent, in your face kind of stuff. Now the question Jessica P asked me, shout out to you Jessica P. She asked me, what do you like reading? If you do, what's your favorite book? I don't read near as much as I used to. Unfortunately, I don't read nearly as much as I used to read. I'll show you my books I like to read. The two of them that are my favorites right now, but again, they'll probably change. The first one, if I can get it out without messing this up. Let me see what's... it's in drop, isn't it? Okay. I have two books I can't choose between. And I'm sorry that the camera is this way. I'm sorry my head's chopped off here, but I can't do anything about it. This is one of the two favorite books I have. And it's called The Hiding Place by Corey Ten Boom, which I mentioned before. And this book, I can read this book 100,000 times. I never get sick of it. Learning about what she went through, what her and her family endured, it's just crazy. And The Hiding Place, my dream, what I would love to do if I can get there by bus, train, or car, is to be able to go to, was it Holland? I think it's Holland. And actually see the Ten Boom Museum. Her dad and their family were involved in the watchmaking business. They made and repaired watches and clocks and things like that. And the watch shop one here is still active. It's run by different people now, but it's still there. It's still active. And they also have a museum dedicated to her and her family. And I'd love to be able to go to Holland and visit the Ten Boom museum and watch shop. And just be able to see the place for myself would be amazing. But this book just really impacted me. It changed me. When the first time I read it, I was just a different person after I read it, because it just really taught me how valuable our faith in Christ is, and how much, even when times seem to be impossible, that God is always there working on our behalf. And there's always something. He's always working for us. And this book, I just came and talked to you